the end of every day, all of you turn on the television and then there's a nice telenovela or a nice show that you're watching. Right through the show, do you try to change any of the scenes or add commentary or change the ending or change the way the person looks? You see, when you're watching a show, there is this recognition that you are not that show. You are not that movie. That whatever's going on isn't real, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you sit and cry or you don't cry. The movie will go on. Correct? We can never change what's going to happen in the movie. We can never change what's going to happen when you're reading a book. Yet, when you're watching certain movies and when you're watching there's a lot of emotion that comes up, especially if it's something that touches a raw nerve. Right? So many times you watch somebody getting raped or being beaten up and it just gets you in your belly. It gets you like terror. But then at the end of the day, you turn off the TV and you go to sleep. And you say, it's just a movie. Now, why can't we say this to ourselves? Whatever is going on is just a movie. 90% of whatever goes on is self-imposed. Nobody is pressing you to higher standards. Why do you feel a lack of that you haven't achieved something? What is there to achieve? Where are we trying to go? What are we trying to do? You are locked in eternal time. That time is now. And it doesn't matter if you have $100 or $100,000. It will still be now. It will still be here. At some point of time, you have to examine and see, what do I want more than anything in this world? And if it's money, go for it. But if it is happiness, peace of mind, and inner harmony, then you can actually enjoy this world because you can just forget it and think of it as a movie, as something happening outside of you, that no matter what you do or don't do, whatever's supposed to happen will happen. Sometimes I like that. Sometimes you need it. And I always say one thing and then I say the opposite. By the same token, we need to meet the highest standards of our own capacity. That is to sing the best, to dance the best that you can, to write the best that you can, to do the best job, to cook the best meal, to do the best according to your own standards. But a lot of the time, when we are saying we're not doing well enough, it's because in our minds we are comparing ourselves to somebody else's apparent success. That's the problem, and we don't realize it. We don't want to acknowledge it. No, I'm supposed to be this realized person. I'm supposed to be this, evolved soul. I'm not supposed to be jealous of that writer or that person, that person's meditation channel or this person's makeup channel, right? I'm not supposed to be jealous of that CEO who made it or that, person who's got such successful children. Yet we continuously apply other people's standards to ourselves. And we do ourselves a big disservice, because whatever talents you have, whatever skills you have, whatever body you have, whatever thoughts and attitudes and samskaras that you have in you are designed for you to meet this life. Now, is there another life? Was there another life before? I can't say for sure. Will you be born again? I can't say for sure. All I know is that if you don't live this life well, with a smile on your face, and trying to do the best that you can, it's a waste. It's a complete waste. You do the best that you can, and then it's a question of destiny. Right? A little bit of help you need from these unknown forces that make things happen, that allow other people to say, wow, she's successful. She's a CEO. She's a COO, CPO, whatever. Right? We want that adulation and that respect and that status, that level of having achieved something in the world. But that is so false, because for 1 second somebody, your friend will admire you, or somebody will read an article about you, or your colleagues will say you've done well, and then what? Everybody moves on. That adulation doesn't stay. That moment of success doesn't stay. You're on to the next thing. Success is this moment. However good, however bad, this present moment is pure potential. It can be whatever you want it to be. You want to sit and mope. You want to sit and feel sorry for yourself. You want to find fault in whatever you do, or find fault in the other person. It's when you're dissatisfied with your own self that you pick on others. That irritation comes, that you have a little fight with your spouse or your child or your maid or whoever's around. What do you want? There has to be some deep thinking. And there has to be that ability to just say, I didn't make it to the New York Times list, so what? Let it go. Not now. It's not going to happen. But did I put my best effort forward? Did I do what I had to do to the best ability that I am capable of? Did I live up to my own standards and my own talents? See, that is the only measure of success. It doesn't matter what people think. It doesn't matter what other people do. It doesn't matter how much money you have. To live each moment as a moment well lived. What more do you want? Catch yourself. Don't make yourself a victim. You're not, this weekend's thing, you're not a victim of the world. You are the world itself. If you are not there, there is no world. Right? If you pulled out of this world, for you, is there a world? No. Because you exist, there is this world. And it can be what you make of it. You can choose which channel to put on TV, right? Which movie to watch. You pick, right? Similarly with your life, you can pick how you want this moment to unfold. You don't have to be simply satisfied with whatever you have. I'm not going to do anything more. In this moment, action in the moment is much more important than thinking about the action of the moment, or the action that went behind, or the action that might not be able to take place in the future. What you do as if you're just pouring ghee into a fire, and that's a very typical Vedantic way of saying thing, pouring ghee into a fire, because you do it in a spirit of sacrifice. So you do it for its sake alone. You work because you enjoy. Don't feel the burden. Don't feel the burden of this. And catch yourself having just rambling thoughts. This is a habit you have created. This is a habit you've created. Find 5 or 10 minutes to just sit like this and stare at the ducks in the yard, or the birds on the tree, or the bees buzzing near or the dragonflies. Now it's summer, you see a lot of it. Just stare into the distance, just not thinking about anything. You need to do this. You need to make your mind as vacant as possible, as many times as you can, because we are all victims of our minds. The only problem is the stories our minds are telling us. There is no other problem. Life is good. Everything is as it should be. We are blessed. Not all of us have situations the way we do. We are totally blessed. So, don't be hard on yourself. What you've done in this life is better than a lot of people out there would be envying what you do. She's so lucky that she got this. She's so lucky to look the way she is. She's so lucky to have the husband she has. She's so lucky to live in the house she does. For everybody we envy, there are 100 others that envy us. There's always something that you have, a talent that you have, that other people want and covet. And why can't my body do this? Now it can't. Why can't I get what he has? Do you want the rest of the stuff that he has? You don't even know what everybody else's journey is like. What you have is a blessing. Now just enjoy it. Enjoy this life unsought. That's what a yogi does. A real jnani, a real knowledgeable person lives this life just enjoying. Eating when he has to eat, drinking when they have to drink, doing stuff when they have to do it, not doing if they don't have to, accepting money if it comes their way, not living without money. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. Doesn't matter either way. I always go back to what J. Krishnamurti said. This is the whole thing. I don't mind what happens. I don't mind what happens. Let anything happen. And I will face it like a warrior, with faith, with courage, and with gratitude. I don't need God. I don't need Guru. I don't need anybody. I am all of those forces. All of it is me. All of it is me. Why am I giving power away to everybody else? It's all a figment of my imagination. You are more powerful than you think. You have the power of the present moment. Something that is pure potential, strong. Anything can happen right now, if you will it, if you allow it to happen. if you give yourself permission to let the energy come in.